Alright guys, my name's Tripp. TrippAdvice.com. You can check out my website. I got videos and a blog and all kinds of dating advice. Talking specifically on the things we just said. I literally have a video.
Okay.
My top viewed video is the best text message you'll ever send a girl, which was what I just told you.
Yeah.
Which was scheduled like this week. Anyways, check it out for more information. So today I want to talk about confidence. So why am I talking about confidence? Should I be louder, by the way? Is this good?
It would help to be a little bit louder.
Okay, cool. So I have a lot of students and they come to me and they say that their biggest issue is usually confidence. And I know why, because I used to have confidence problems too. So I decided, all right, something good that everyone can relate to. Let's talk about confidence, specifically powerful confidence. So some of the stuff I want to go over today, talking about how to create powerful confidence. So what I want to do is I'm going to dig really deep into what confidence is and what it means. So I'll be doing a lot of defining and breaking things down. I learned myself that the best way that people learn is through really breaking down everything to the smallest part and then building from there. So we'll go over that. I want to talk a little bit about how to build self-esteem and why that's important in confidence. Talk about the 7 characteristics of a quality man, which is related. You'll see how that's all going to be combined. But it's really cool because there's one slide in here where I talk about the 7 characteristics, and I swear to you, if you just follow that one slide and you write all that stuff down, you'll never need to learn anything ever again as long as you follow that. So stay tuned. And we'll talk about quick ways to gain confidence and confidence as a process. So, before we continue, will you actually shut off the camera for a second?
Big.
Because it's very much obviously connected to confidence, right? We're not confident in the things that we fear. So that's kind of what I want you guys to think about as you're listening. Your fears, what are you not confident in? And how can some of the stuff we go over today help you become more confident in those specific arenas, whatever they are. Okay, so a little background on me. I was a very, very not confident person. I had a lot of trouble, not just with women, with dating, but in overall just success and life and jobs.
How long was this?
This was, I would say, I started working on this about 6 years ago. I think that it's never going to end. I think that we're always trying to build confidence in all different areas. Where I think I definitely have confidence in terms of women and dating. That's why I'm teaching it. But there's other areas that I'm always trying to work on. I think we're always trying to build confidence and success in all the areas. But it wasn't until maybe 4 years ago or 5 years ago, so 6 years ago I started working on this stuff, but it took about a couple of years diving into this to really start feeling confident. So here's a quick story. When I was a little kid, like 3 years old, this probably is my earliest memory. Actually, now that I think about it, this is probably the earliest memory I have known to my life. Okay, I was 3 years old. I was at my grandma's house, and there was this really shiny bowl, this like crystal bowl, and inside the bowl was these really colorful M&Ms. And you're 3 years old, right? You love colors, you love chocolate, you love sweets, and I really wanted those M&Ms. And there was some kind of like holiday party going on, and I was so scared to go and take one. I was just so nervous, and that's so weird, right? So if you're 3 years old, you don't give a shit. Like, you're not very aware of normal things an adult is aware of. And so it was just strange. I look back in that moment, like, what was I thinking? I was so scared to go over as a child and go pick an M&M out, but I was so scared my parents were going to yell at me, or they were just going to get mad for whatever reason. And that kind of feeling in me stayed with me for a long time as I was growing up. Right? So this is one of the reasons why I always considered myself a nice guy. You guys know what a nice guy is? So a nice guy is like a guy who's a people pleaser, who's always nice to everybody to make sure that he doesn't step on anyone's toes. Right? So I was always trying to be very careful. I didn't want anyone to be mad at me. And this is something that I had to work on for so long. And of course, in terms of dating, that's not good because you're always going to get friend zoned. You're never going to be able to push boundaries. You're always going to be too polite, too like, excuse me, I'm sorry. And those are not the qualities of a man. And a woman wants a man, not some scared little boy. So it wasn't until about 6 years ago that I found Casanova Crew. And I met some wings, and I got really into stuff, and I started going out a lot. I was going out for 2 years straight, 3 to 5 times a week. Sometimes I'd be going out for 3 weeks in a row, really intense. And it was at that time that I really started to change myself. And a lot of the lessons that I learned over that, and really, I mean, I'm learning lessons every day, and stuff that I'll be sharing with you today is all the stuff that you'll be learning. So, what is confidence? Like I said, I want to break everything down to the most simplistic level. So, anyone, just tell me what you think confidence is.
Just being comfortable in social settings.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Being comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else? Anything else?
I think you do what you want and you don't give a shit about what other people
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so do what you want and not give a shit. Okay, that's good. So, all those are for sure correct. And then there's a couple more things. So, just a basic definition, right? Confidence is the ability to do whatever. It can be in social situations, like you said, right? It can be with dating, it can be with a job interview, like you're confident you're going to get the job, right? Because you have that ability. Then it's the belief in yourself and the trust in yourself. So you believe that you can do something. Right? I believe I can go talk to that girl and get her number. If it doesn't work out, whatever, but I believe that I can do it. And then there's trust, which is a little bit different, right? You trust yourself. It's not just believing, but it's, okay, I trust that I can accomplish something. So that might be something that you're just trying to, like a project, you're trying to accomplish a project. I trust in myself that I'll be able to get it done. Okay? Here's the most important part, and I want to come back to this at the way end. This is something a lot of people don't think about. But confidence, mainly, is just a feeling, right? It's a feeling inside of you. So think about that. It's a feeling. So there's 3 stages of confidence. Super simple. I've broken it down to 3 stages, right? First stage, you don't have it. More importantly, you feel you don't have it. So that's like the bottom line. Like whatever it is, I don't have confidence in myself in this particular situation. Second step, I have confidence. I feel I have confidence. Okay, I feel confident. I can do this, right? So I'll give you an example through all the stages. And the third stage is you have it, but you don't really know it. And I think that's the place where you want to get to. So in terms of, let's say, approach anxiety, approaching a girl, okay? The first one is, all right, there's a girl over there, she's hot, I really want to approach her, but I'm just not feeling confident, and then you wait, and then 15 seconds has gone by, 30 seconds, you're just like, I'm really not confident I can do this. Somehow maybe you push yourself over there, or maybe you don't, and you never end up approaching her at all. Second stage is, okay, you've been approaching for a long time, you've been working on this for a long time, you see a hot girl, and you're like, oh man, hot girl over there, okay. All right, I'm gonna go talk to her. I feel confident, I feel good. I know my line, I feel good, I'm confident, here I go. You go and approach her. And the third stage, which is the ultimate, which I really think people don't really understand. They think confidence is just like, you psych yourself into it, right? You're like, you tell yourself, oh yeah, okay, I have that feeling of confidence. I know what that feels like, okay. But no, it's really, you don't even know it's there. It's to the point where you see a hot girl and you want to talk to her. What was that?
It comes naturally.
It comes naturally, yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, enough repetition in anything makes it actually programs it into your subconscious, which is the part of your brain you cannot access. That's where habits are formed, both good and bad.
Right.
So, like, I remember the first time I started working on posture, which I think is like a subcategory of confidence. People would say, adjust your posture, but well, you focus so much on your posture, you kind of like, you stiffen up like you're like a giant version of Viagra, you know, it's really weird. You're a statue. So, but then eventually, after enough repetition, it just like, it starts to come naturally, and you're not, you know, it's not the first thing on your mind, it's in your subconscious, so you're just doing it instinctively.
Yeah, exactly. And in terms of body language, I'm always telling my students this, is that you have to just keep practicing, and then it's going to get to the point where maybe you never had good posture and you keep practicing it, and the more and more you do it, it's going to start to become unnatural to like slouch over or to cross your arms like this, right? It's going to feel weird. Like I'm at the point now where I've been practicing body language for so long that still once in a while I might do the arm cross, but the second it goes there, my brain is like, this is weird, you don't do this. And so I'll go like this, and then I'll kind of go back down, because I'll catch myself doing it, right? So, and then in terms of this, in terms of approaching a girl, like you were saying, it becomes natural. You're like, oh, hot girl, gonna go talk to her, boom, and you're in. You don't think about it, right? So why do we need confidence? Very simple. Women love confidence. They're attracted to it. Do you know why they're attracted to confidence? I'll tell you. Confidence is a very basic alpha male trait. So a man who's confident will be able to provide and take care of a woman. And at the end of the day, women want that. They want that male to provide for them, to care for them, to be there for them. And when shit is crazy and is a mess and they're emotional, the man can stand strong and feel confident that he can get through it, whatever it is. I always hear women tell me the number one complaint. Yeah, he just wasn't confident. Yeah, he came up to me and he talked to me and he just didn't seem confident. And that could have been through anything, through his body language, through the things he was saying, he wasn't giving them eye contact. So you need confidence, because this is what women want. And of course, simple stuff. Defeating approach anxiety, pushing you out of your comfort zone, pushing boundaries, right? And I always say this is one of my fun, cheesy lines I always tell my students, but it's stuff that I still have to remind myself of, right? Is that here's your comfort zone, right here, this little circle. And this is where most people stay. I'd say this is probably where a majority of the world stays their whole life. And then right outside of it is the success, right? So here's your comfort zone, here's success. The point is, you have to leave your comfort zone in order to see success. Any person that you see as successful, literally, it can be a friend, your parents, the president, right, anybody, they have stepped outside of their comfort zone. Everyone does something uncomfortable to see success because you push yourself. And that's where a lot of confidence comes from. It's about bucking up, pushing yourself as hard as you can until you finally see that success. And of course, at the end of the day, it gets women to want and desire you, which is fun, right? Okay, another reason why we need confidence. This is, again, kind of back to my story. I was this little 3-year-old kid, scared to get some M&Ms, like a normal 3-year-old should do, and I was scared. I was always walking around scared. This is the worst thing that you could ever do. And I see so many guys doing it. They're walking around and they're freaked out. Every little move. I was working with a student, true story, last night, and he said, "Excuse me, I'm sorry," so many times to every girl he would approach. And we were at a bar where you don't really need to do that. You don't need to excuse yourself to go up and talk to somebody. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? He's like, I just don't want to be rude. I'm like, rude? You're talking to a girl, telling her she's cute. You're saying what's up, you're being fun. That's not rude. He's walking on eggshells. This is the worst way to live. It really is. And that's why confidence is one of the first things you need to work on before anything. It's building that foundation of self-esteem and of worth. So, in terms of self-esteem, how do you feel about yourself? Believing in yourself is the foundation, okay? Not enough guys believe that they can do something, right? And that, of course, is confidence. But the problem is because they don't believe that they're going to see success, or they don't believe that they're going to get something that they want, those guys are rarely ever going to see it. If you don't believe it, even if you have to fake it, if you don't believe it, you will never ever get it. It took me a long, long time to realize this. And there's even exercises you could do to fix that, right? So if you don't really believe that you can successfully approach and attract and get on a date with a girl who's out of your league, right? Super hot girl. So if you're having trouble with that, go home before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning, close your eyes. Visualize, this is really powerful stuff. It doesn't sound like it right now, but when you do it, and if you keep doing it, it's very powerful. Visualize the success. Because what happens is no one's doing that, right? The guys who aren't confident aren't thinking about them succeeding. They're thinking about themselves messing up. I'm going to get embarrassed. This girl's going to reject me. I'm never going to be with any girl. I'm going to be stuck masturbating my whole life, never have a family. My parents are going to hate me. Right? They go down this deep, deep hole of despair, walking around scared. But they never think, okay, what if that actually works out? And then you visualize it. Okay, I'm visualizing myself going up to a girl, her laughing from my approach, not at you, but with you. Her saying yes to the number. Her texting you back, sure, 8 o'clock Thursday sounds great. You're on the date, she's laughing more, you're having a great time. You go back to your place, you guys end up having sex, she becomes your girlfriend, and so on and so on. And those are just the broad details. You can go even more specific. Like, you have that line that you're going to say, and you're going to say it, and she's going to love it. And you visualize the whole process. So that's something you need to do. Because what that's going to do is that's going to reinforce the positivity, and that's going to reinforce you feeling better about it. And just from that, naturally, even if it's just a little bit, it's going to start to give you a little more confidence. So what you're doing is you're not saying, what if this is going to go shitty? Rather, what if this goes awesome? Like, what about the greatest possibilities that could happen? And this is not just with women and dating, this is with anything. I mean, this is literally with anything you want to do. Second thing, don't let others define who you are. So that's a big part of self-esteem. I think that a lot of guys, myself included, are very, very caught up on how others think about us. Right? What were you going to say?
Perceive.
Yeah, exactly. How others perceive us. Because how others perceive us, that's how we are, right? No, it's not. But again, that's all in our mind too. We could think that people are perceiving us one way when we're just making all that up in our head. But here's the thing too, is that even if they do perceive us in a shitty way, that's not who you are. So again, this all starts about with belief. Now, of course, you actually do something wrong, and you know you do something wrong, and someone thinks that you did something wrong, that's a whole different story. But when you're walking around and you think, oh, I don't want to go approach that girl because those people are watching, and they're going to think I'm weird. So you got to ask yourself, wait a minute, is it really weird that I'm actually going up and telling a girl that she's cute? trying to get a date, trying to get a girlfriend like everybody else on this planet. So you gotta think about that. How you perceive yourself is the most important. This is like stuff that they should be teaching us in kindergarten. Because all the depression and anxiety and the shittiness that people feel in this world, and we know that America is fat and shoving antidepressants down themselves, is that they're not feeling that self-esteem. They're not thinking about how they should view themselves. They're thinking about how everyone else is looking at them. And then of course, trust in yourself and have opinions. So when you're talking to your friends, whoever, trust that what you're saying is something you believe in. Your thoughts, your beliefs are just as important as everybody else. I hate it, and I hate it so much because this was me. I hate it when people think that other people are better than them, and they never give me a real reason. There's no real reason. I don't care if you're talking to someone who's a millionaire, or someone who has slept with 1,000 girls. The definition on which you think is successful is different between everybody. So you can literally change everything about yourself by just thinking about it, by just trusting and believing in the things you say. And that's also really attractive to girls too. If you agree with everything a girl says, like you're on a date or you're talking to her and she's like, I like Metallica. No girl says that. But if she does say that, and you're like, I don't like Metallica, but you're like, oh yeah, no, they're awesome. Yeah, for sure. She's gonna see right through that. It would be more attractive for you to be like, I don't know, that's a little out there. Because she's gonna be like, oh wow, okay. He's got his stance, he's got his opinions. He's not just trying to be agreeable and be the nice guy. So, have your opinions, stick to them. Here's a really cool thing. This is something I actually just recently learned. So this doesn't even come from me. I'm stealing this from somebody else, but it's so good that I had to teach it, and I want to teach it to everybody I come across. I was doing this mentorship from this guy who's like a millionaire, and he teaches all these people different ideas on success. And one of the first things he says is, what's your destiny? And I was like, that is the cheesiest question I've ever heard. But he's like, just think about it, what's your destiny? So think about it right now. You don't have to say it, we're not going to share it out loud, but just think about it for the next 10 seconds. Try to answer it. What's your destiny? So what do I mean by that? Or I should say, what did he mean by that? Because he was teaching me this. He said, when you wake up every morning, you should be so excited to get out of bed, start the day, and do whatever it is you believe you should be doing. You should have purpose in your life. And you should be able to get up and be excited to do it. Because if you're not, well, that's going to lead to the depression, low self-esteem, not being successful, and you're going to be just kind of going through life mediocre. And that's cool. A lot of people do that, but those are the people who don't get what they want. Right? So you guys took the time out of your day to come here, and that's like the first step. You saw the email, okay, cool, a chance to learn something, I'm going. Right? So it's about passion. It's about having that real reason to keep getting out of bed, and it can be anything. He was mainly talking about being successful in business. So he was saying, what is your passion? What is your destiny? Find out what that is, and you can be a millionaire. It's that simple. And I took it and said, you know what? That can be with anything. So when I started doing this for the first 2 years, I was kind of whatever with my job. I didn't give a shit about it at the time. But my destiny, at least at that point in time, was like, I'm gonna get up, go to work, read some more stuff in forums, learn some more stuff so I can go out tonight and practice. And that's why I was going out 3, 4, 5 times a week. I was so passionate about it. And that's why I'm able to sit here and speak to you guys, because I saw a lot of success from it. And even today, I have a new destiny, right? And that's to come and do speaking events and build my business. So I know what I'm doing every day. I have a reason to get up every day. And what's really cool is that not only is that going to make you successful, but that's going to make women so much more attracted to you. That's going to come through when you talk to them about what you do, about what you're excited about. They're going to see that, and when someone else is really passionate and excited, you kind of start to feel that passion and excitement. And, of course, back to what we're talking about, it makes you look confident. And you are not the outcome. So that's also kind of back to what we were saying before in terms of how others perceive you. It's kind of the same idea. Whereas just because you screw up at something, you fail, you make a mistake, a lot of guys, and really every student I think I've ever had, guys who I take out to the bars and during the day, they're so attached to the outcome, right? So they're outcome dependent. They're very much emotionally dependent on what happens. So if they get rejected by a girl, they think they're shitty. Oh, I suck. It's not that the approach sucked, it's really that they suck. That's what they're thinking. I suck. Or maybe when an approach goes good, they're like, I'm the best. And that's cool too. I mean, obviously that's better because that's positive. But you have to remember that you're not the results. You are who you are right now, as it is. And if you keep on thinking that every time you make a mistake, every time you screw up, every time you don't achieve a goal, that you're this terrible person, or however you're going to view yourself. And I'll tell you what, there is one circumstance in which you are that shitty person, and that's if you don't keep going. That's giving up. Okay, this is my favorite one. Most men are selfish. So what do I mean by this? I'm going to give you a little scenario. Let's imagine you're out during the day, you see a woman, beautiful, okay? So let's just assume she's a quality woman, right? And let's also assume that she's single. She doesn't have a ring on, okay? So, beautiful, confident woman walking around, getting her coffee, you're like, wow, she's beautiful. A woman that is quality, that is single, wants to meet a quality and single man. True or false? True, true, true. Even if you said false, you'd be wrong. It is true. Okay? Every woman wants to meet a quality man. So, it goes back to what we're talking about. Do you think you're quality? Okay? Do you think that you're a quality person? Hopefully you do. If you do, so we're taking logical steps here, if you do think that you're a quality man, that you're a good guy, you're confident, then we can assume that this woman wants to meet you. Right? So why are you selfish? Well, this is what I tell my students, and I'm going to tell you now. If you don't, go and approach her and give her the opportunity to meet you, then you're denying her the opportunity to be with a quality guy, which is what she wants. You can't argue with that because we already said that, right? So every time a guy doesn't go and approach and says some stupid excuse like, she's too pretty, she looks angry, she's on her cell phone, she's trying to get somewhere, she's with friends, she's having a good time, I'm going to make it a bad time, right? None of that shit makes any sense. A single girl wants to meet a single guy. Hands down. Probably more than you guys do, because all they want to do is get married. I mean, not really, but kind of seriously, right? So I always tell you guys that you are selfish if you're not actually going up to her and saying whatever you're going to say. Give her the chance. She wants to meet you. That is, if you're a quality guy and you think so. So, which brings me to my next point of how to be a quality guy. Okay? This is the slide you've all been waiting for. I'm telling you right now, hands down, guaranteed. Okay? These things right here, if you follow every single one of them and just spend your time focusing on these 7 things, you'll never need to do anything ever again in terms of studying or coming to seminars, coming to these free events. Once you have these down, guaranteed, money down, you will be successful with women. So let's go over them. So the 7 C's, confidence. Obviously, this is what we're talking about. So if you have confidence down and you're sure of yourself, and there you go. That's one of the alpha male qualities. She wants a confident man. Second is charm. This is not really in order of importance, but it actually kind of is, because these first 3 things are really huge. But charm is really important. Okay, so charm is just, that's flirting, that's being sexual. Okay, that's a lot of the meat of the seduction community. You guys are trying to learn how to flirt, and how to tease them, and how to push your sexual boundaries, right? So that's a huge part of it. Can you flirt? Can you be sexual? Clothing, style. Our man right here has got it down. Very good. You guys are okay too. I like those shoes actually. But yeah, clothing, you want to look good, right? Make sure everything fits. You look sexy, no matter what. I mean, I know you've heard stories about like the fat bald guy who's got really good game and gets hot girls. Sure, I believe it. I think that you need to work on so much other stuff if you're that guy. When it's so simple to just like go to the gym and put on some nice clothes, that could fix a whole array of issues. Okay? Conversation. Again, this is a big chunk of what you guys are trying to learn. How to talk to girls. How do you convey that you're interesting? How do you share the fun stories about yourself? How do you talk about yourself confidently? Can you hold the conversation? Can you not make it awkward? And this goes, I mean, past the initial approach. This goes into the first date. This goes into more dates. This goes into when you're actually in a relationship. Okay? Next thing is class. A lot of guys don't really think about this one. Class is being respectful, right? So that's the chivalrous stuff, but it goes deeper than that. It's about respecting the girl. It's about respecting the people around you. So I know that we all hear the assholes get girls thing, you know. If you're an asshole, you get girls. You know what? That might be true, and I think it is. I think a lot of assholes can get girls. But I also think that there's a lot of areas of their life that is really shitty. And there's a reason why they're an asshole. Maybe their daddy touched them. I don't know. Maybe they got bullied when they were a kid. Maybe they're so self-conscious about themselves. So those guys have a lot of other areas that you don't know about. But it's really about being, and this is about being a well-rounded quality man, right? It's about being able to respect others, and the most important, like we've been talking about, respecting yourself. Having that self-esteem. Respecting her, respecting the people around you, respecting yourself. That's class. Okay? Caring. What's your destiny, right? Are you passionate? Are you passionate about what you do? Are you passionate in everyday little things? And also, caring is caring in general. Do you give a shit? I don't mean like, are you overthinking, do you give a shit, like you care too much, but I mean, do you care about people? Do you care about the woman that you're with, the woman that you're talking to? Because if you don't, she's going to see that you don't really give a shit, you're just trying to get in her pants, or you're just trying to do your 15th approach of the day, right? You don't really care. Just numbers. You gotta care. And comical. Are you funny? Can you have fun? This guy knows all about that. But most importantly, it's not really, being funny is really important, but I want to stress more about that. You need to have fun. You need to show her that you can have fun. You need to have fun with her. This is in every interaction that you're having with her, teasing her, playing little games. And the thing is, guys go out to bars and they make it so tough on themselves, right? About memorizing the lines, doing the approaches, and that's cool. Have your goals, that's fantastic, but have fun with it. If you're not having fun, then again, it's the same thing as I was saying before. You're just kind of going through your days, and next thing you know, it's just like, oh, what's been happening the past 6 months? You haven't been present.